What is up, and welcome into the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I am your host, Ezra McCann, and I'm joined, as always, by my outstanding co-hosts. He's a Chicago Public League legend. He's a Simeon legend. He's a Grambling State legend. He played second base for the Tigers. Back in the day, he was all swag. He is none other than Brandon Williams, a.k.a. Coach Smoke. And we've got the NFL expert guru. He's everywhere, you guys. Just all over the media. You can hear him on just every podcast that's out there because he's just that popular. He is Glenn Morgan. He is our GM. Gentlemen, what's going on? How you guys doing tonight?
Well, good. I'm excited about predictions
Yes.
today.
Yes.
I'm excited.
We get to do our yearly picks and then start the weekly picks as well for week one of the NFL season. So we got a jam-packed show here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Before I just want to shout out, I was down at Jackson State for the Jackson State Hampton game this weekend. I want to shout out all the fans down at Jackson State who were extremely hospitable. My Hampton Pirates did take the L, 28-14. Close. It was good. It was a good game, but I love the people down at Jackson State. I just wanted to thank them for a great time this past weekend. I even got on some podcast. I don't even know what the podcast it was, but I got on there. I got to talk some smack for Hampton before the game, but I don't know if it's a Jackson State. But I don't know what the hell it was. They just called me over and I was on a microphone. So maybe I'll find it someday. I don't know. I probably have to search for it, but yeah, no, I had a good time.
It's probably on a loop down there now since y'all lost.
It might be. Look at this clown. It probably is, man. So I'm gonna find it, and we may have to do some things to take it down.
Yeah. Take it down.
Stop from embarrassing myself down there. I talked to Brandon, man. He was he was upset with his showing last week.
Well, it was pretty unbranded-like, but it was still better than a couple of my teammates yesterday or Sunday. So, yeah. I'll just say Brandon didn't show up, and his average still beat like three of us. So just give you a little idea. Yeah, just give you a little idea.
Not good. Not good. Not good. All right, let's get to it. Let's start off. The Bears had final cuts and made their I'm not gonna call it their final roster, but their beginning of the season roster. Week one, yeah. Roster, because anything can happen, as we all know. Surprises, they kept 10 offensive linemen and 10 defensive linemen. I thought that was the main thing I took out of it, and only 3 running backs. That was interesting.
That might change a bit. The 10 defensive linemen, that's probably more than I would have expected. I would have thought like 8. Offensive linemen, I would have thought low end 8 as well. I mean, 10 makes a little bit of sense, but I would have thought maybe 8. But I get that trying to figure out the left tackle might be a reason why they kept an extra lineman or 2. But yeah, right. three running backs for as much as that position gets dinged, and as much as this offense tends to, it's a play action offense, so you need running backs who are effective in order for your play action stuff to kind of work. So I would thought minimum 4. There's no way you could have told me it wouldn't have been 4. Maybe, maybe 5-ish, but 4, just because of the the wear and tear that it takes. So yeah, man, that's a little shocking there.
I guess the number of running backs is shocking, especially knowing that 2 of the 3 are like dinged up already.
Yeah, and Roshan's been dinged up most of the summer.
Yeah, because we saw practice. What was that, at the last practice or whatever day that was? We had one running back.
Thursday.
Yeah, we had one running back. So that was something, but shoot, even the ones that we let go are dinged up too. As we see, Homer is on IR.
Right.
So I mean, I know Brown is on the practice squad. So like I think touching on something that GM has brought up many times, like with Luther Burden being a guy that they utilize in the running game. And I mean, we saw it with a different regime, but maybe that sparked some interest with Ben Johnson was seeing DJ Moore in the backfield as well. So I think we're gonna see some creativity there with that. I actually like the keeping the 10 offensive and defensive linemen. I
Oh,
like that.
I'm not mad.
Oh,
Um,
nothing wrong. Nothing
Nothing wrong
wrong
yeah,
with
with
it.
it. There's
yeah,
nothing wrong
yeah.
with having depth
I
at
know
at
it's
those
just
positions.
it's kind of uncommon, but I love it because I mean that's something that we've talked about many times of speaking on the lack of depth that we've had there, and so we're seeing a lot of things that we spoke on in the past be emphasized now,
Mm-hmm.
showing emphasis on the trenches,
Mm-hmm.
like figuring this thing out, understanding that that's the problem, and we're going to do what we have to do to fix it. Like keeping extra guys because we all know the injuries are going to happen,
Right.
so keeping guys there and, so having those guys available. So I actually like that.
Yeah, you got. I mean, Grady Jarrett, is a Pro Bowl guy, but he's getting up there in age. So to
Right.
have a good rotation
Mm-hmm.
coming in and out, especially at the defensive tackle position, I think is going to be huge. You got Billings is back, Trevon Dexter. You got Jarrett, uh, Chris Williams. So yeah, that's the. A lot of bodies on the inside and outside. We know Booker is on IR, but and he
Right.
won't be available for the first 4 weeks. But Dominic Robinson is back.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Montez Sweat is your guy that you're hoping has that breakout season. We had his first year. He had 6 sacks with us, 6 with Washington
Right.
in the beginning of the year. So he has had a double digit sack total, but I don't know if we saw that same production last season in his what I don't want to say second was his second
Second,
season, one and a half
Yeah. Well,
season, one and a half with the Bears. We want
first
to
full
call it that.
season with the
first
First,
full
yeah,
season.
yeah. See, I'm trying to figure out how to say that. You'd think with 5 years behind this, I would be able to do that, but no, no. But yeah, so I know one thing that they are definitely hoping for is Ada Yingbo to come out and do some damage. They put a lot of money into that position with those two guys, and
Yeah.
I don't know if we saw it, whether it was during practice. At least that's what we're hearing. We don't see everything obviously,
be
and
honest.
then in preseason games.
Be real. Somebody said that name, and I didn't know who the hell it was. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I was like, I'm like, shit. I was traumatized with Booker going down, and it was like, but he was the
He's
backup
not the guy,
anyway.
right? Right.
I'm like, who was that? I'm like, but hey, forgive me for being ignorant to. I clearly wasn't paying attention to this pickup, and he definitely didn't do nothing in the preseason to stand
Listen,
out. So
he's not not up to the standard of Montez Sweat, but he's making $8 million this year in 2025. So he's got to have you know
be
some
productive.
numbers. Yeah, be productive exactly. Um,
And
so yeah,
that's
so that's
all
not a
pro.
bad thing to have that many defensive linemen. Offensive line side, I was sort of shocked that Amagaji stayed, but it's not. It's like I said, you got to have bodies, man. You got to have
Bodies,
bodies. So
athletically, he's a little different physique wise, and he did come in and they put him in a bad. He was injured when he started last year. Then they threw him in there like through wolves,
right, right.
and he got he got devoured. And so he's probably working back some confidence from that experience, along with the competition that he's engaged in. So this is probably a year to see if he has enough salt to stay on a team, stay in the league. And we'll see. But I'd say if he doesn't show the ability to improve and continue to improve, I don't think Ben Johnson's going to want him on the team next year.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's like, okay, Poles, I'll give you one kind of deal, but I don't know if he's going to fit my system. We'll see.
we let you save face for one more year and see what happens here. So yeah, the left tackle thing, I think we're gonna, it's definitely gonna be Braxton's gonna be the week one starter, but
Right.
it's gonna be something to look at the next few weeks to see, what direction they go in with that. Clearly, Trapillo, they pretty much said he's gonna be on the right side now. So
So they're drafting a left tackle next year, is what you're
I,
saying.
I would think that.
Got it.
I would think that. I would put my money on that. No doubt about it. Defensive back, worried about that position or those positions
That unit, yeah.
going into week one.
Yeah. It used to be a strength. Now
Well,
it's
that was coming into the season. That was the big strength. We haven't seen Jalen Johnson play yet. Gordon's been dinged up. Brisker's been dinged up.
Terrell Smith's gone for the
Terrell
year.
Smith is gone for the year, and we thought he was going to battle
who? All we got what?
Tyreek
Stevenson?
Yeah.
Stephen and
I think
Byard.
Stevenson's been banged up a little bit too throughout the preseason. So yeah, Byard has been healthy, but you don't want to see these. I don't know exactly what each guy's injury is, but or what's hurting, but you don't want to see that going into week one.
Oh, it's nothing I love more than knowing that
Yeah.
my best cover corner won't be able to stop to contend against the best receiver
Best
in all of
receiver in
football.
football.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god.
So yeah, that's gonna be a concern going into next Monday night, no doubt about it.
Well, there's no Jordan Addison, so we can triple team Jefferson.
And Hawkinson.
Yeah, and then Hawkinson's gonna kill us, which I drafted him, so it wouldn't be a bad thing.
Well,
Sorry, fantasy football. But yeah, it's I'm a little concerned going into week one here.
What do you mean? Look, you weren't
A
concerned
little bit.
before?
I mean, I wasn't too worried. I was,
So are you worried or concerned? Which one is it?
I'm both, man. I'm both. I'm both. I
You're
wasn't.
concerned
I
about
was.
what you're
I was
worried about?
excited. I was excited about the season starting. Right now, I'm not so much.
So you're worried about your concern, huh?
Yeah. This is this. I don't know. I don't want to look forward to to an extremely down season here. I don't know.
Well, I don't know the state of Minnesota's defense right now in terms of their personnel, how healthy they are or are not. What we probably would have to hope for to some degree would be a bit of a shootout to compensate what the defense may not be able to do in terms of actually stopping someone, or we would have to really hope that JJ McCarthy, quarterback from Minnesota,
like a
looks
first year guy.
all yeah looks worse than Arch Manning did going up against Ohio State.
Yeah,
If
that's what I'm hoping.
so if he looks like that, and keep in mind, I don't think Arch sucks. I just think there was a tough situation starting out.
Too much hype.
No, I don't think there's too much hype at all.
First start of your
It's not
first true start against the defending national champs on the road is tough to ask.
no doubt. Tough to ask. I don't think it was too much hype. I think it was. I don't think the hype. I think is warranted. I don't think the realization that, like what you just said, who are
What
they
he was
playing?
going into.
Well, here's the thing. and I know we're getting sidetracked, but we'll go back to the Bears real quick. But here's the thing, Ohio State's defensive coordinator left. He's in Penn State now. They being Ohio State, lost 14 or 15 guys, went to the pros. A lot of those guys off the defense. So you think going in, and on that, but Ohio State had a rookie or a quarterback who hadn't started either. So all that going in, you think could favor Texas because they were the more veteran team, plus the revenge factor. The very last game that Texas lost was to Ohio State, and that was a close game. I mean, it was a 7-point game until JT Tuimoloau picked the ball off, and ran it back for a touchdown or whatever. So, the thought was, I think they didn't realize Matt Patricia as the new defensive coordinator for Ohio State and former Patriots defensive coordinator who won several Super Bowls. I don't think they really factored in how much he was going,
impact that game.
Impact that game, exactly. But that being said, hopefully the Bears can do something similar to J.J. McCarthy, to where his inexperience playing NFL games, even though the Bears are hamstrung right now with some injuries in some key areas, particularly the secondary, that hopefully they can be enough smoke and mirrors, and enough pressure maybe from the interior, because it don't look like it may not be coming from the exterior, and that the linebackers can drop deep enough to just give them enough, to make him pause and hesitate, because it is going to be extremely difficult without the secondary guys being healthy. But yeah, man, you got to hope that JJ is just raw, and that he doesn't have the timing with those guys, and it won't be an Addison. Addison won't be there. We said it earlier, so we're screwed. We're screwed. Yeah, we're screwed. Sorry, I tried to talk about it. We're effed. Yeah, it's just not looking good at all.
Hey, we got a couple extra days, so hopefully all those injuries get mended, and we'll be all right going into a home Monday night game.
We got no running attack. We got no secondary.
We don't have a left tackle.
We got a questionable left tackle.
Yeah. Let's get away from that. Offensively, Ben Johnson's first game at the helm of the Bears. What do you think we're expecting here from this group?
If he's the coordinator that I think he can be and has been, and hopefully he doesn't get too excited, that he doesn't pull a Sarkisian that, and ask Caleb to do. When I say Sarkisian, that's the head coach for the Texas Longhorns, and I think he put a lot on Arch Manning with expectations in terms of, I've practiced with, you've been in the system for a while. I know what you can do. We see what you do in practice, blah, 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 but not take into account the situation. And so hopefully with Caleb, situation for him, this game shouldn't be too big for him. It's not that, and it's a home game. So those things are in the advantage of Caleb and the Bears. But Caleb has expectations. You have to manage his expectations. Caleb like most young people, they want everything yesterday, or they want everything now, not realizing they might not come till tomorrow or the week after. Caleb's expectations have to be managed. Caleb is in such a hurry, he needs to be able to realize it's okay to ease into the game. I'm not saying you have to go slow, but, don't try and, I don't need to see you in the first 3 possessions that the Bears have that you've got, 15 passes attempted already. Make that somewhere between 8 and 12 passes attempted, and those passes don't have to be intermediate to deep. Let's quick pass, especially with the defense that the Vikings present in terms of a lot of pressure, a lot of blitzing. See where they're at. Try your running game a little bit, but man, the worst thing would be him holding the ball trying to make a play. That's all I'm saying. You got to devise something where the ball gets out of his hands. And it's not the predictable side-to-side screen shit. Please don't do that. I'm so sick of seeing it every time we play Minnesota. Like, please get away. Like, if I see the same shit, I'm going to buy the smoke a theory that it's the same damn playbook.
Universal
playbook that the Bears somehow make us have to do, because Ben Johnson's so far in the preseason didn't look like that. So, but I mean, just some, even if I get some middle screens, just don't do the side screens. But
Oh well, they kind of went to that in that Chiefs game. They did
yeah.
kind of go to that in that Chiefs game.
So, we got weapons, find ways to get them on track, even if it's a couple of reverses, or whatever. So, basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Misdirection. I want to see some misdirection to get that Minnesota, they overcommit, just like, football, judo. You overcommit, use your leverage against you. You use your aggressiveness against you. And he should, Ben Johnson, it is, should be coordinator enough to know. And this isn't a new team. He's played and faced this team for several years now. So that's another thing that works in the Bears' advantage, is that it's not like this is an opponent he hasn't faced before. This is not a defense he hasn't seen before. So that's what I'm hanging my hat on, that's the thing, man. But it's going to be tough, bro, for real.
What I'm looking forward to seeing, I guess the question for me will be, is it personnel or is it system?
Mm-hmm.
So that, and when I say that, to say, will we see guys getting open freely like they were in Detroit? Will we see, now granted, it's probably unfair to say it on, will we see the running game be as effective because we don't have the depth there? So it's hard to say there when it comes to personnel or system, but I do want to see more often than not guys being open. That's what I want to see, and that'll tell me a lot about him because that's what we saw in Detroit. That's what we saw. Now, what Caleb does with those guys being open or not, that's on Caleb, right? But I want to be able to see. I want us to be able to finally be able to distinguish if it's truly the quarterback or do we truly have our quarterback. That's what Ben Johnson is here to do for us.
Talking about, he's generational. That's what everybody said.
Man, look, we done dealt with that. We done hashed that out. But Ben Johnson is supposed to be the guy to erase all those questions about the coaching. He's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be finally the guy that we got in here to truly put it on the quarterback. In the past, we had a lot of other issues where it was able to be divisive among fans on who truly is at fault. Is it the system? Is it the quarterback? Is it this? Is it that? Ben Johnson comes in, he's supposed to be at least have that aspect of the game on lock, the coaching aspect, to where we truly will see if it's the quarterback or what. So that's all I'm hoping to see. Putting Caleb in position to execute, to where it's on him to execute. Simple as that. I know it sounds good, it sounds simple, but I think Ben Johnson is a good enough coach to put the onus on the quarterback to simply execute the game plan. Simple as that. And that's what I want to see done. Because like you said, he has familiarity with this defense. I mean, this is a division defense that he's went against many of times in Detroit. So he should know what to do versus this defense. Now, granted, like I said, it might be a little tougher because of our running situation. But I still expect him to dial some things up to where Caleb should be successful.
Well, he's gonna have to get rid of the football quickly because we know Brian Flores is gonna send the house. So hopefully he understands that. Sitting around holding the ball, that's not gonna work this weekend. And like you said, Ben Johnson's gone against this defense. Caleb Williams has played against this defense twice.
Right.
So yeah, hopefully there's an understanding there. I like what you said, Smoke. You want to see some guys scheming guys open. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for years and years and years now, I since Brandon Marshall was here, we haven't had guys that actually, you see get open. You know,
And I mean, since we've been doing this show, what, 5 years?
yeah, yeah.
What
You
have I been crying about?
never see that,
How
man.
come it don't look like that for us?
Absolutely. So that's all I want to see. I want to see a true professional offense on the field for us. That's
Because we finally did. We
yeah.
finally did what everyone said. We got the best offense, who was supposed to be the best offensive minded coach out there. We've got that. And quite frankly, across the board, when those guys go to a new team, you see the difference when they get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When you think of those coaches, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Kevin O'Connell, what's the guy in Miami?
Mike,
Mike McDaniel.
McDaniels, yeah.
You see when those quote unquote gurus have went to these teams, you saw the change. I just don't, unless we're just truly cursed. I don't see why we shouldn't see that change here.
There's never gonna be a good offense here.
I just don't see why we don't see that change here. I mean, we did it. We did what everyone said. Go get Ben
man.
Johnson. He was the hottest. He was the hottest thing on the market for 2 years straight.
Yeah,
He chose to go back. And if it wasn't for injuries, Detroit had so many injuries last year. It wasn't a bad move for him to do what he did. But
yeah, to stay, yeah.
I think he learned like shit. No season's the same. Now, granted, they had a hell of a record, but
what if Detroit doesn't blow that game to San Francisco? They get to the Super Bowl, maybe win it, or maybe do well enough. But let's see, is it possible?
he leaves
Like
in.
he leaves in, but
Yeah.
it comes Chicago. Hold on, comes Chicago. They don't draft Caleb Williams. Maybe they draft. Maybe Jaden fits his system a little bit better.
These are
Wouldn't that be crazy?
Yeah.
Or maybe Drake May fits what he wants to do better. Because I mean, as much as no one in here in Chicago talks about Drake May, they did beat us here in Chicago. And Drake did put up about 500 yards rushing, I think, something like that. A couple of touchdowns. And his numbers were really similar to Caleb's, and he had less talent to work with.
Well,
than
that game,
Caleb did.
if I remember right, that wasn't really a New England offensive explosion, though. That was
No. What I'm saying is he did about the same with less throughout the season.
That's the key there.
And I'm saying, what if in assessing the quarterbacks, if Johnson's here, he's like, Caleb doesn't do the play action thing. Jaden Daniels come from more of an offensive, pro offensive system in the LSU than Caleb did at USC.
But,
I'm just saying. I'm just.
Are you wondering if that's? I don't know. Because I'm like, are you wondering if that's why he maybe stayed, knowing that the Bears are going to take Caleb?
No, I think he stayed because I think he stayed because he probably didn't feel that he was ready just yet.
Yeah,
and I think
he thought they really had a good chance.
Right. I think him and Aaron Glenn both were like, and I think they all agree, like, you know what, we were this close, we can get back there.
See it through, yeah.
And they were really close, but like you said, it kind of got beat down.
Injuries, yeah.
They went 15-2, even with all those injuries,
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it was like, business left undone. That's why I prefaced it by saying, what if they actually beat San Francisco and got there? maybe he leaves a year sooner. Maybe there is no Eberflus.
Things could have got really crazy. But yeah, that's
That don't mean nothing right now.
I'm excited for week 1. I'm excited for week 1. Both teams have questions coming into week 1.
Hey, I think it was Thursday afternoon. News came down. The Dallas Cowboys traded Micah Parsons to the Packers.
Yeah.
What was your reaction like when you
go
heard that? The
first?
initial reaction.
Sure.
Can I go first?
Yeah.
By all means.
It was, ain't this a bitch? That was my first reaction. And here's the thing: a lot of people probably thought that I looked at it as, oh shoot, this just prepared the Packers to win the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I don't think Micah Parsons changed life that much in Green Bay as people may think. I do, as a Bears fan, think it helps them whoop our ass, keep their foot on our neck a little bit. That's where I have my frustrations. I don't personally see this move as great as the media makes it out to be for Green Bay. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing, I'm not as big of a believer in Jordan Love as everyone else wants to be.
Wow.
I'm not. Like I told somebody, if number 12 was still over there and they made this move, you goddamn right, I'd be like, what the fuck? But I'm not sold on Jordan Love. I'm not.
Really?
He had a half of a season where he was great. Had a half of a season where he was great.
That's true.
They were 1-5 in the division last year. It should have been 0-6.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been 0-6. I do like LaFleur. I do believe in Matt LaFleur. But I don't believe in Jordan Love. That's just me. And I know people don't like this guy and he say some foolish stuff, but one thing I pay attention to when he said, when it pertains to them Cowboys, I pay attention. Micah Parsons goes silent in the big games. He can be schemed against. Dallas was a front runner team. They were front runners. The offense will get points, jump out on teams, and that's when Micah can go crazy. When games are close, name me a game where Micah shut the door because the game was close. You don't see it. You don't see it. And
they beat Pittsburgh last year. You just said name a game. I'm just,
what was the score?
It was a close score. I mean, it came down to Pittsburgh was near the goal line. One of those kind of things. Justin was the quarterback.
Did Micah make an impact on that game? And again, you have to be able to run the ball. Najee Harris is a fucking bum. I don't care what nobody says. You gotta be able to run the ball. Granted, you got two runners, the quarterback and the run, but Najee Harris is trash.
So he's not on your fantasy team. Is this some fantasy hate? It's some fantasy hate.
Nah, I never put him. Never. But I'm interested to see them against Detroit. Now, granted, I know Ben Johnson isn't there, so people thinking that, but they still have the talent.
Right.
Well, yeah, their offensive line might be a little dinged up, or not dinged up, but not as effective because the center Ragnar, he retired.
Yeah.
That's a key. That Aaron Glenn,
but that big boy Sewell is still there though.
Yeah, but he's on one side of the field though.
And Gibbs is a game changer.
He's an electric back. Yes.
If I'm the new OC, I'm picking on Michael with Gibbs all game. You gonna make a decision. Oh, you want to rush? Hey, I'm gonna stop right here. Dump it to me. Look. Oh, you think you can stay with me one on one? Oh, it's over with. Like I don't know. That's just me. But go ahead. Next person. Go ahead, Jim. What's your thoughts?
What with Mike when they took Micah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought good times. I thought good times. Florida Evans. Damn. I was like, wow. I'm like, man, of all the teams to get him, what the hell? And I'm like, man, is this Reggie White, Brett Favre, but younger, which could be more problematic longer? It change it tilts things. It does. And I know how you feel about Mike, and you made some very great, excellent points. But that was with the Cowboys. That's a classic underachieving organization. And sometimes you're only as good as the players around you. And Dallas was kind of a donut hole when it came to the running game, stopping the running game. And those things can affect how well you're able to play, defense, stopping the run, obviously, but also trying to rush the quarterback. But if you can't rush the quarterback because you can't stop the run, you become ineffective. So there's a lot of things that are interconnected to that. So it would be interesting to see how he is on a different team. Now, Packers had a really good defense last year, and that was their first year in the system under the new DC. So this year around, no Jair Alexander, but there's still, and Clark being gone, they will look a little different. But Micah, as much as he may not have shown up in the big games, he still, there's a reason why he's a high paid player. He is an excellent talent. So on a different team with a different scheme, with a different coordinators, with different, teammates, with a different motivation, and the worst, not the worst, but outside of thinking Reggie White and Brett Favre in terms of just that combo, I was also thinking like the Khalil Mack thing. I'm like, man,
that's what I thought about.
Yeah, how different he didn't get to the Chicago till like what? He flew in right when the team flew in or something. I'm joking, but it was real close. It was like within the week. It was. Well, I don't even know if it was like
it was the
like 2 or 3 days.
This weekend,
right,
or
right before the game, right? Yeah. So he didn't have a full week with the team, even though his teammates basically, and they should have won the game. It wasn't for bad coaching; they would have won the game, or inept coaching. They would have won the game, or Aaron Rodgers, a little bit of both.
Well, yeah,
but he made an impact to the Bears too. What 12-4 that year?
Yeah,
so the Packers already won 11 games last year. Putting him on a team this good like the Packers, that's a tilt, man. So it made me concerned. It's like, man, and you talk about the Bears, it's like, so now they got 2 pass rushers and Braxton in trouble. No matter.
I say the Bears, we're cooked. We're cooked. I'm more so speaking on it on the overall scheme of things. You got people saying they jumped Philly, which is insane to me.
No, they didn't jump Philly. But it might put them no worse than third. I would definitely
in the NFC.
Philly, in the NFC, yeah, I think so. If with everybody, with all things being equal and health and what have you.
Who's 2 in your mind?
2 is arguably, if Stafford's healthy, it's the Rams for me.
So really, we'll get to predictions later.
If Stafford's healthy, yeah, dude, the Rams are nice, dude. They were this close to beating Philly, to get to the Super Bowl. But Stafford's got to be healthy. If Stafford's not healthy, then the Rams fall, almost off the map in a lot of ways. The only other team that potentially might be, you could argue for 3 would be the Lions. Like you said, the talent's still there. The coaching's gone, so that brings them back to the pack. No pun intended. That brings them back to maybe, I don't know, pun intended. That brings them back to the pack a little bit. And Washington might have been, too much of everything went right last year kind of team. We gotta still see, but I don't see anybody else really San Francisco, I don't trust at all this year. I really don't. The Giants,
Don't
one
they? I
side of the
think
ball is
San
really
Francisco
good,
has the easiest schedule, right?
Yep.
In the
potentially.
league, yeah, yeah.
I don't trust their health as a team, and they've had some players they've lost as well through attrition. So we'll see what they're like without Debo. And if Christian's banged up, that offense, it ain't the same. So yeah, man, I don't see a lot of teams. The Buccaneers, maybe. I can I definitively say the Buccaneers are better than the Packers with Micah? No, I can't. Atlanta's still probably a couple of years away. Dallas, who knows who they are? I mean, they're still trying to figure it out. So yeah, man, I would say the Packers are no worse than 3, arguably 2.
And just reading on this Micah Parsons story. So Micah Parsons has a L4 L5 facet joint sprain in his back. So that's basically like lower back. Um, Before he left Dallas, Dallas prescribed him a prednisone shot, which is basically like a steroid shot, anti-inflammatory shot for his back tightness. Um, and he was also in physical therapy before leaving that. So Dallas knew this,
Right. And they still made the
and
trade.
they
Wow.
made the trade.
Can't believe they would do that.
Now interesting. Parsons passed the physical in Green
Okay.
Bay, but he still may need to have a shot before the game against Detroit.
It's some it's
Mm,
some collusion here.
That's
It's some
interesting.
collusion here. The Michael Parsons experiment won't go into effect until year 2. Mark my
Now,
words.
I've had a an L4 L5 um, uh, disc issue where it
okay.
was pinching my sciatic nerve, and I took the corticosteroid shot, and it worked. I haven't had an issue with it since. Now the doctors
Mm,
beforehand told me I would need it at least every 6 months. That
mm.
that didn't happen. So it may be an issue, but I'll tell you what, that shot makes you feel
This
good
when
right
you was
away.
playing.
This was no, this is after I was playing.
Uh,
This was in regular life, but
okay.
it came from
I get what you're
uh
saying,
yeah, yeah.
but you ain't getting hit.
That's true. That's true.
That's what I'm going with it.
That's very true. But I tell you what, when I took that shot, within
But
15 minutes, the pain was gone.
I'm sure. But
I
that's
felt
probably why
great.
you ain't had to get it every 6 months,
I
like they
was
say.
true that, true that, true that. I'll give you that. But it worked. It worked. So for game day, he's gonna be just fine. I guarantee you that. Now,
Is he gonna remember?
in between those days, he might be in a lot of pain. So we shall see. Um, I'm not too worried about this. You know,
You mean you're not worried
As
about
a
having to
Bears
face
fan,
him?
you're not
about
worried
having to
about this?
face him. It's twice a year. Twice a year. I'm not too worried about this.
I
We'll
mean,
be able to
listen,
scheme
at the end
around
of the
that.
day, we was gonna have to face them anyway. We was playing
Sure,
the
we're gonna play him
Cowboys too.
Against Dallas. You're right. Exactly right. This doesn't worry me
It's
all
just
that
who
much.
he on the team. He on the Packers
Yeah.
now.
And
So
I mean they're paying him what is it, $188 million over the life of the
47 a year.
contract. That's
Wow,
crazy.
that is insane money.
Yeah, he's making more than Mahomes.
Yep.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
good.
he doesn't own a baseball team.
Well, he might after this.
That's true.
He might. But nah, I'm not too worried about Micah. We're gonna be all right. Let's talk some college real quick. Um, Glenn, I know this is your forte here. Um, any surprises in was this week one of the college football season there?
Well, yeah, most definitely. I think the biggest surprise, was Florida State and Alabama. I think hands down. Florida State only winning 2 games last year. Alabama just missing the playoffs. Florida State having to get a lot of players through the portal. Alabama seeming like players they retained more than they did the previous year. It seemed like they were on a mission. All the talk about how the focus was, blah blah blah. That's one thing to lose a game first week. And Florida State, although they haven't been what they used to be, it's still Power 4 conference, and it's still Florida State. Still a lot of talent at state. I think then the shocking part was just how they got handled, how badly they looked, and how much it seemed to be a harbinger for what is potentially going to befall this once proud Alabama Crimson program. Now, I'm sure there's still a lot of pride there, but that could be, this guy stuck in the past. This is different. And I've seen this happen to Alabama before. There was a Bear Bryant era, and then there was a bit of a lull. And then there was Gene Stallings, and then they won national championship under him. And then they were struggling. They've been in Alabama struggling for a while to get a
Long
coach.
time.
Yeah, and that's kind of where they didn't have the veneer of invincibility like they seem to regain under Saban and retain for 20 plus years, so or about 20 years. So yeah, this looks bad for Alabama. I couldn't be happier. so so glad to see these guys
Ah,
going through it. Now I like the head coach, I really do. Kellen DeBoer, who took Washington to the national championship game, only to lose to Michigan. But when he took the job, I thought, man, what are you doing? You don't understand. They're going to look at you because you're coming from the north, so to speak, or look at you like a carpetbagger. Yeah, I'm going back to old school. They're going to look at you as an outsider. They looked at Saban as an
so I
outsider
was gonna
for a
say
little bit.
Saban is a
Yeah,
northern guy.
but here's the thing: Saban's grace in Alabama was he won a national championship at LSU, so
Right.
he had a little bit of Southern, but they still looked at him with a side eye. But he came in more or less winning, and then at that point, once they adopt you, they adopt you. So yeah, man, that was a bad look. They looked bad. Um, Florida State, they got out physical, and that's another thing too. It's one thing to lose, but to lose and not look like you're interested to be making mistakes. I'll say this about Saban. I never was the biggest believer that he was like one of the better game day coaches. I thought a lot of his success came from preparation. I think he was extremely attentive to detail and discipline. And in college, that can take you a long way. You had the talent that he was always getting. It was very hard to beat because Alabama didn't beat themselves. Very rarely, if ever. Now I've seen him be disgruntled and just rumpled and just discombobulated on the sidelines, like when Gus Malzahn and Auburn beat him. There've been times, and when Ole Miss used to
Oh well,
always
that
give him
happened.
problems.
That happens all the time with him. Even they could be winning and that happened.
Right, that's
Yeah.
true. But I'm saying there are times where the talent saves from himself. Like there are times you go sidelines. It's like, dude, like you should be a little cooler as acclaimed you are. You seem to be losing your shit. Like what's going on? But that being said, those first games, this is where Saban was really stand out. The games like against Florida State, where you're playing another top 20 type caliber team, Alabama would invariably always seem to win those games. And you had that long thing where Saban wouldn't lose to his coaches that coached underneath him. Discipline, man. Those guys were always disciplined. If there's anything that Kirby Smart has taken from Saban, is that ability to have the players focus and discipline on game day. So yeah, man, that was a big surprise to me. I was not surprised by the Texas Ohio State game. I thought it'd be low. I thought it'd be real low scoring just because of the defenses involved. There's so much talent on both sides of the ball. I wasn't shocked by how low scoring the game was. I
I
was
I
sh-
was. I
no,
was. I saw. I didn't. Didn't watch the game. I was watching my own game, but I was following it because of course I had a little wager on it. 7-7 nothing at the half. I was like, whoa, what is going on in Columbus right now? So I was a little shocked by that. I thought
well,
a couple more points would be put up.
here's why I wasn't, because they just played each other. You know, the familiarity wasn't so far away. So here's two schools that are kind of used to and I know a lot of attrition in players league. They both
Right.
lost about 26 players, I think,
Right.
total went to the NFL from both those squads. But the head coaches still remain. And there's still some key players who played in both those games who, were getting time were there. The defenses are both those are two teams that will probably be easily top 20 defenses, arguably top 10. And both quarterbacks are inexperienced. And that's the biggest reason. I mean, yeah, Arch had a game or two under his belt, but for all intents and purposes, he never played in that kind of environment. And you know, Ohio State starting quarterback Justin Sand, he hadn't had any starting time at all either. So I thought, because of inexperience, because of the coaching staffs, because of the talent on defenses for both of them, I thought it would be low scoring. And I'm surprised that Sarkisian put Arch in position. And it's crazy because Texas probably should have won that game. They were up and down. They had almost 100 yards more offense. Ohio State could not run the ball at all. You look at the stats, it's like, how did you lose this game? It's only one turnover, but the turnover wasn't one that was taken back for a touchdown. It wasn't like a pick six or a fumble recovery or whatever. It just, you had a situation where one coaching staff didn't ask their starting quarterback to do too much. The other one probably thought he was more prepared to do more than what he was really prepared to do in that kind of environment. So those are some of the big games there. As far as another quarterback looking bad, and I know I got a little personal stake in it, but Nico Iamaleava, who used to be the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers that went to the playoffs last year, all that off-season stuff where, he's supposed to come back for spring practice and he was quote unquote holding out for more money. And Tennessee was like, you know what? Thank you. Goodbye.
Go. See you later.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you on the way out kind of thing. And people were like, did Tennessee do the right thing? And was this kid being greedy, or was his family, or all the stuff? And so to the point to where he transfers to UCLA. Joey Aguilar, who was at Appalachian State, had transferred to UCLA before all of this. With Nico coming, he leaves UCLA and then comes to Tennessee, where Nico just left. So you had that bit of drama and the soap opera thing going on. I was surprised by just how bad UCLA looked. They lost at home. They only scored 10 points. It's about no offense. You at home, you only scored 10 points against Utah. Look, it's not the most.
But Utah, they're not slouches now.
I'm not saying they're slouches, but this isn't a ranked Utah team that's, top 25 type caliber team. Utah's going through some changes of its own, and they made UCLA and Nico look. He looked horrible. He looked horrible. And it's like, why did you leave? And so that was shocking to me, just how bad he looked. On the upswing, I was pleasantly surprised at how good Joey Aguilar looked at Tennessee. He seemed to fit that system pretty good, man. But there were some great games. LSU winning. You got both teams, last name Tigers. Both teams'
Death
stadiums are
Valley.
called
Yeah.
Death Valley.
Yeah.
And I was surprised at how low scoring that was, and just at how bad Cade Klubnik looked. Cade Klubnik did not look like a quarterback who would be going in the first round after that game. But LSU's defense finally showed up. Part of the bemoaning they had last year, they didn't have a defense. I thought it was a big win on the road for LSU. And Garrett Nussmeier looked like he might be the first pick taken in the draft, or at least a top 10 pick. So yeah, man, it was some good games. Miami also winning a close game at home against Notre Dame. I will say this, and I'll stop talking about college football, because then with this, I'll be talking for the next 30 minutes. But Cristobal, the head coach at Miami, they need a different head coach. He is so conservative. He almost coached them into a loss. They had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, and he got so conservative Notre Dame came right back and almost stole that game. And I saw it. You could see it happen. It's like, man, dude. And even some of the fans started booing because he was being too conservative.
Yeah.
And they lost the steam they had. It's like, dude, you just gave them momentum right back to Notre Dame. He needs to stop doing that. And that's the guy that kept Herbert. He made Herbert look very average at Oregon.
I don't understand that. I mean, you got an experienced quarterback in Carson Beck out there. I know
Yeah.
you lost Cam Ward, but you got a very good
national
college
champion.
quarterback. Yeah, yeah, and Carson Beck. Why get so conservative?
I don't know because that's who he is. That's who he is. And once again, here's one thing you'll notice, everybody. If you're still with us, if I didn't make everyone turn the channel by this time to just talk about college football, but one thing about college football and sometimes in college sports, these coaches sometimes are saved by the talent they have on the team. There are times where the talent wins despite the coaching, and you'll see that from time to time. It matters in football, the coaching does, but there are times where you look at the coaches, it's like, yeah, man, they bailed you out of that one. And last night, that was one of those. Christopher almost coached him into a loss.
Well, they got that dub, so but good game though.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. A couple of top 10 matches, three top 10 matches, I think.
all right, here we go. I got a question for you guys. Tulane Northwestern. I know it wasn't a big game, in the grand scheme of things, but just got a small question. I guess there was some controversy. Um, I guess originally both teams had decided on the uniform colors to wear for that game. Tulane, as the home team, decided that they wanted to go in their home green jerseys, and Northwestern decided to go in their road whites. Then on August 17th, um, Tulane asked Northwestern if they could make a switch and if they could wear their white jerseys because they wanted to commemorate the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina and wear the uniforms that they wore um, in 2005 during that time when they were actually displaced from their home
Mm-hmm.
because of the storm. And Northwestern said no. They said we decided on this a while back. We're going in our whites. We want to wear white. So this
Oh
is what we're doing.
man.
All right. So
Ah.
you know, game comes and Tulane they actually wore their um plain green helmets. They didn't have in 2005. They didn't have their decals to put on the helmets because of the storm.
Mm-hmm.
So they just wore, plain green helmets. So that's what they ended up doing for the game. And they commenced to whoop on Northwest. I think the final score was 23 to 3. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Was Northwestern wrong by not allowing Tulane to wear these uniforms?
I'd say karma
Okay.
says yes.
Uh, uh, so it's morally, morally, they're wrong. Morally, they're wrong. It's and the only reason I don't go harder on them in favor of Tulane because I'm with Tulane, but y'all knew this was the 20th year a long time ago.
Right.
Why wait to then to decide, okay, can we switch now to commemorate Hurricane Katrina? That's something that you should have known ahead of time. But even still, they gave them 2 weeks
Yeah.
to prepare for that change. And being someone who was in Louisiana at that time, it's like, come on, no way. Which makes it even worse. Being that I was in Louisiana at that time and I'm from Illinois, Chicago area, close
You're the
to
reason.
fucking Northwestern.
You're
It's
the key.
like, it's like, come on, man. Like, come on. Just I don't know what you thought you was giving them a emotional advantage or something. Like you did by
Probably.
not fucking giving it, by not making the change. But that's probably what they was thinking. Is
Yeah.
like, man,
Here's the only thing I could.
See, the karma, man. I told you, man.
here's what here's what I think. I think that Northwestern knew they were going to a different environment in Louisiana, a warmer climate. They figured they would have some type of advantage wearing the white jersey in an afternoon game in Louisiana. Remember the Bears used to do that, where they would wear their whites at home during early in September when it was really hot out. I think they did the same thing, and they were like, "Wait, we got a little bit of an advantage. Let's not take it away." But Smoke, you 100% correct, man. If a team comes to me and knowing, what Katrina means to this entire
That
country,
region, country, that
the
region.
country, yeah, yeah. Um, you gotta give them let them have their way on that, and say, you know what, we can wear our purples in this game. That's fine, no problem. And I
it's
love what
in,
I love what John Sumrall, the head coach of Tulane, said. Uh, he said it got denied by Northwestern. That's their prerogative. But when you show disrespect to the city of New Orleans, that's what's going to happen to you. You're gonna run into a team like this. They had a chip on their shoulder, and that's what they did. I guarantee you, this was used as bulletin board material for this game. And not to mention, I'm sure Northwestern sort of underestimated Tulane a little bit, being that
I don't know
that
why they've been good.
Tulane's from the American and they're a Big Ten team.
Tulane's been pretty good the last several
Yeah, yeah,
couple
they were
years.
top 25 last year.
Yeah. So yeah, Preston Stone did not look good. 4 interceptions. I think he had 3 in the first half. From a veteran quarterback who's been around other teams, that's not a good look for Northwestern going forward. He's supposed to be the guy. So yeah, that was probably a bit of a surprise that to lose that poorly, lose that badly. Yeah, yeah. Hey man,
That's
F was it FAFO? FAFO moment.
How about smart as a question? You were down there during that time. How did looking back 20 years later, how were you affected during that time?
well, so Grambling is about 4 hours from New Orleans, four
Okay.
hours north of New Orleans. Crazy as it seems, we got none of the effects of
Okay.
Katrina
Mhm.
when it hit at Grambling. We got none of it. Um, but the effect that it had was you have so many people at Grambling from New Orleans. You had families that evacuated and came and stayed with their, you know, children and brothers, sisters, whoever they may be that was at Grambling. They came and stayed with them on campus.
Okay.
Mhm.
And for me, I never experienced a hurricane. I honestly didn't know. I didn't pay attention to that stuff up here because we didn't get it. So
Right.
Right.
going down there, that was the first time hearing about a hurricane and
Yeah. That
hearing
was
about like
that was your freshman year, right?
that was my freshman year. Like
Freshman
that was
year,
my first time where hearing the word hurricane stuck and was being stuck and like beat into my brain because it was like that was something I never even thought twice about. And so then when it happened, and seeing the devastation, it was like, whoa, it was crazy. And seeing the effect that it had on people that I grew to have relationships with. And mind you, I was only at Grambling for maybe 2, 3 weeks at the time when
yeah. Yeah, that was
Katrina
that
hit.
was yeah. That's August.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
even there that long. The first person I met at Grambling was from New Orleans.
Mm.
So like and he was one of my best friends down there. Throughout, we played baseball together. He was on the baseball team, but he was literally the first person I met. So like, I ended up growing relationships with people from New Orleans within that short period of time, and it was an eerie feeling.
Yeah.
It's an eerie feeling to be down there during that time. And I'm like years later, like I started dating someone from New Orleans, and they were still so emotionally driven by this storm. It was like, okay, at some point, when do we move on from this? And I used to have those thoughts until, and it wasn't until recently seeing these videos of how the devastation really happened.
Yeah.
It's I'm like it's crazy. Like seeing the documentaries that are out there now about Katrina, I had no clue, and I was so close to that, no clue that it wasn't Hurricane
It
Katrina
wasn't. It
that
wasn't a storm.
truly,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
wasn't Hurricane Katrina that truly did New Orleans in. The storm had passed. And it's like, wow, to see what the government did, and it
Or didn't
it
do.
It
it
should
it
have.
it,
Right.
it, it really makes you angry.
That didn't. That
It,
didn't have to happen.
it really makes you angry, and make me go back to that time where I'm wondering, like, when do you move on? And it took 20 years for me to realize what they truly went through, what they truly went through,
Right.
because what was being portrayed to the world was not what was going on.
Right. Yeah. But I would highly recommend. I don't know if you saw these. Hulu did a really good
Yeah, I saw that
documentary,
one and the
and
one
the
on
one on
Netflix.
Netflix. Yeah, man, they outstanding. Outstanding.
Yep.
It's going when you watch it, it's gonna bring back memories, and it's gonna piss you off.
Mm-hmm.
The
So
response.
the new one that's on Netflix you're talking about?
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
yeah. The lack of response
Mm-hmm.
that our government had, their government, the local government, and more importantly, the
The
federal
national
government,
government. Yeah.
yeah, had it's gonna you're gonna go to bed pissed off, you know, at that how they treated these people, and man, it was eye opening, just to say the least. So so yeah, Northwestern, you know, and I'm a Northwestern alum. I went to grad school there, but that was a bad look for them, I think,
Yep.
in my opinion. All right, let's move on. Let's get these. Let's do some predictions here. Season
Mm-hmm.
predictions.
Okay.
There we
On the
go.
NFL, and then we'll get to our weekly picks. So let's start. Um, we'll do our division winners. We'll do our wild card picks, and then we'll get conference champions, and then who the Super Bowl champion will be. All right. So let's start in the AFC East. Smoke, who you got in the AFC East division?
It is. Oh, that's easy. Buffalo Bills.
Glenn.
I always get the North and it's a little confused sometimes.
Right. See,
Yeah, it
that's
is.
see it. Y'all just don't understand, man. Y'all look at things. Yeah, I'm Buffalo. I'm BSing. It's Buffalo. It's Buffalo all day.
My man Justin Fields is the quarterback of the New York Jets.
So you know
Good
it's
for him.
He's
That's
going
Buffalo.
my boy too.
he's going
That's
he's
my
going he's
boy
going to
too.
shock some people in New York this year. But
And win a few more games than they did
yeah,
last year.
the Buffalo Bills will be the AFC East champions.
Yeah, yeah. That's what they were all last year.
Yeah, yeah. Let's go NFC East. Smoke.
Philly. Finally, we have a
GM.
repeat champ in the East.
Well, it's been over 20 years, and no one has won that division back to back.
So you better go Washington.
But all things come to an end, as will the streak. I got a hard time not thinking it's gonna be Philly. They're so deep everywhere, man. So yeah, I'm with Philly. They'll be the first team to repeat in over 20 years.
I think the New York Giants are gonna shock a lot of people.
I do too. And if it was a team I was going to pick, it was going to be the Giants. But then I realized that came out my mouth, so I just couldn't back it up.
I think the Giants are gonna shock a lot of people.
Yeah, shocking enough
But
to win
yeah,
the division.
I'm going with the Eagles. Oh man. Let's save the North for last. So let's go to the South. AFC South. Smoke, what you got?
AFC South. I'm gonna go with the Texans. Gonna be
We got on the limb there.
Yeah, I kind of did. Hey, but to be fair, I was considering the Titans.
They were the worst team in the division.
To make things, hey, look, Daniel Jones,
number one pick. Number one pick.
Hey, that's what I said. So it would have been interesting if I picked them, but yeah, I went out on a limb. I'm gonna take Houston.
When we got
Colts.
Really, Daniel Jones, huh?
Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I think
the end of Anthony Richardson is here.
Yeah, I think they've got a little depth at quarterback. You got an athlete. You got two athletes at quarterback, and Shane Steichen knows what to do with an athlete because he had Jalen Hurts. He kind of got him right and helped improve his game. And Danny's a little bit of a better passer coming into the league than Jalen was. I think with that offensive line, with all the skill players they have there, with the running backs as well, along with a defense that, although they're not household names, a solid defense. And they've been real close to making the playoffs the last 2 years, and they haven't had any kind of quarterback consistency. So yeah, I'll go with the Colts.
All right.
The Texans still can't block, and their running game is a little iffy right now. No Mixon, and no Larry Tunsil. So I see Stroud, a lot of passing, a lot of running around.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Games.
That's one division where I could see all four teams winning it.
Well, yeah. It's interesting you say that because we're going to have three different answers here.
You going with the Jaguars?
I'm going with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yeah, no doubt about it. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to do some things. I think Etienne and that entire backfield is going to have a better year than they did last year. NFC South. Smoke, who you got?
I'll go Atlanta. Think Atlanta shock. Well, I don't necessarily know if it's a true shock. But I think they finally get it all together with the offense. With Bijan, with Kyle Pitts. I think they figure it all out this year. And get it done in the South.
What do you got?
It is a tough one. I think that's, again, another division where teams have improved, although the Saints are kind of in limbo. I think Panthers will be better than people expect. Falcons, I still don't know who their defense is yet. They got two edge rushers in the draft, but sometimes edge rushers, they take a while to develop. They don't always sincerely come in and hit the ground running as rookies. I think the Bucs are still really well put together, and they seem to slowly keep improving. Liam Coleman has left. He's the new head coach for the year Jacksonville Jaguars is, but I think Mayfield has a pretty good handle on the offense. They got more depth at receiver with Mecca Ibuka. So when Godwin goes down, they're not going to miss a beat. Two good running backs, really good defense, consistency and continuity. It means something in football. I'm going with the Bucks.
Glenn, I think I'm going to agree with you there. We took the Bears took the Falcons inside, took the center, took their big
Mm-hmm.
defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a roll with the Bucks in the South. All right, AFC West. Smoke, who you got?
We talked about this team earlier, and we mentioned that they got the easiest schedule in the NFL.
You said AFC West.
AFC
Oh
West.
no, yeah, you're right. You're can't see the
AFC.
Chiefs. Can't see the Chiefs. Look, I'm already thinking past
That's
that.
why I started
I'm already
laughing.
thinking past that.
I'm
Look,
like,
I'm already look. Can't see the Chiefs. Look, let somebody beat them. I ain't picking against.
GM.
I think I picked the Raiders last year though.
well, I mean, man, the Broncos defense is really, 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 really good, and Bo Nix and that offense is getting better, and RJ Harvey might give him a little extra pizzazz in the running game, so that's why I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs
Yeah.
because they improved on the offensive line. Rasheed Rice won't be back until midseason, but that might be a little extra oomph that passing game.
That might be what they need.
Yeah, and they've got some depth at running that they didn't have last year, and they improved in areas where they got their ass whooped in the Super Bowl. I think they took that personally, and they should have, but I think they took it as personal. Like, if you took a three-peat from us and you embarrassed us in the process, we're going to make sure that doesn't happen again. And the Chiefs are one of those organizations where they see something wrong, they fixed it the next season, and I think they did that. So yeah, I'm going with the Chiefs.
I saw Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs treat the Bears like a walkthrough. It was
Yeah.
17-0 before we knew it. Yeah, you can't bet against the Chiefs, man. Going with the Chiefs. NFC West.
Okay, back to what I was saying, right? We talked about this team earlier with the easiest schedule in football. I think the 49ers have a bounce back season. I'm going with the 49ers. I don't trust Stafford's health.
Glenn, who you got?
Yeah, I don't necessarily trust Stafford's health either, and I don't believe in the backups at this point. The guy Stetson, I don't believe him as the backup to lead that team at an NFL level for 17 weeks if it has to come to that. But every year in the NFL, teams that weren't in the playoffs make the playoffs, and teams that were there don't make it. And so, since most of my teams seem to be like, kind of chalk picks, I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Damn.
That's what you're gonna go with?
Yep.
Nobody's talking about those guys, man.
I think these
They
guys
got some
they've been
talent.
forgotten about, man.
They have. They got some talent, bro.
No one's saying anything about the Arizona Cardinals. I like them a lot. I'm going with the Cards.
Yeah.
All right, AFC North.
Whoo, boy.
Smoke, who you got?
I'm going Baltimore. Uh, Cincinnati defense still stinks, so that's going to favor Baltimore. The Browns are a shit show, and the Steelers got Aaron Rodgers, who I anticipate will be the cause of Mike Tomlin not being over 500 finally. So yeah, that's that's my story and I'm sticking to it. Baltimore runs away with it.
Glenn, who you got?
Dude, I was just looking at the schedule that the Ravens have to play. I was like, wow. And then I looked at the Ravens roster on their offense and their defense, and I went, wow. They're stacked. I don't see too many weaknesses anywhere. The Ravens, man, and Malachi Starks, who they rookie they got out of Georgia, to fill the other safety spot. They got two safeties, man. That they might have the best safety tandem in the NFL. They might have the best inside linebacker tandem in the NFL. They may have the best quarterback in the NFL. They got one of the best running back. They got one of the best line. They got a lot of best to best. They got the best tight end depth in the NFL. I mean, dude, yeah, man. Ravens. If not this year, I don't know when, because they are stacked. Because you guys see where I'm going with my Super Bowl team.
Man, Cincinnati is a blank show. Cleveland, oh my God. That division is just, man.
Still
Outside of
competitive.
Baltimore, I don't trust the other three teams. I got to go with Baltimore in the
Yeah,
North.
Bengals are going to be hard to beat because they can score, and Cleveland has got a really good defense, and Pittsburgh is really balanced. It's just they're tough.
I just don't like how they run their team. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
So,
sorry.
so you're going with the Browns,
I'm
then,
going. No, definitely not going with that team. No shot. By the way, North Carolina is
Yeah, they're getting clobbered.
yeah.
I'm not
Wow.
shocked. I'm not shocked by that. I thought that
Wow.
one of the worst hires. That dude I'm not saying he collected a paycheck, but I don't see the college game. I just can't believe he has interest in the college game.
Just one last thing. Knew he couldn't get a shot in the NFL, so
Yeah.
this was the job. NFC North. Smoke, who you got here?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger
I'm
by his
going
tail.
with. I think Detroit wins the division again. I just believe they have too much talent. Um, so yeah, nothing else to say.
Glenn.
I'm going with the pack, man. I think the Lions lost a lot of coaching depth and talent. That makes a difference, not just not just as the coordinators, but also some position coaches. Center being gone makes a difference. Their schedule is not going to be an easy schedule. I think in the division, everybody can beat everybody in the division.
Not the Packers.
Not the
They won.
Packers.
They won 5. No, I'm just,
Yeah, right. But
I just love. I just like that we can say that for
oh,
1 year.
I'm not saying everyone has, but everyone can. They all have the capability to. And regression, regression is reality, man. The Bears have improved. The Lions have lost some of that because of the Bear, and I think the Lions, like last I checked, the defense still has a hard time stopping people. We don't know how healthy Aiden Hutchinson is going to be. If he's going to be all the way back. So a lot of question marks, man. A lot of question marks with the Lions. So the pack, again, like I said, I think consistency and continuity are still things that are you can rule by in the NFL, and the Packers are among the more stable teams in that division. They really are.
Uh you guys know how I feel about making picks, and I've done this in the past.
Doom Chicago again here. Okay.
Ah, damn.
We're gonna try not to doom the Bears, so I'm gonna take the Packers
Oh, okay.
to win the division. That way, I put some
Bad mojo.
voodoo bad mojo on Green Bay. So we're gonna go with the Packers there. Wild cards. There are one, two, three, four, three wild cards.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Smoke. Who are your wild cards?
AFC
AFC.
going. So we got the East, the North. So I'm gonna go West because that's the easiest. I think 2 come out of the West on the wild card side. I think Denver and San Diego.
Los Angeles.
I mean, yeah, Los Angeles.
San Diego. I like that. That sounds better.
And I think the Bengals slip in there as the other wild card team.
The Bengals. All right.
Oh, and then NFC
NFC. Yeah,
gonna
you can make
gonna
that.
go Commanders will get in, Rams will get in, and Packers get in.
Okay. GM, who you got?
That's tough. Wild card's tougher to me than the division winners. Um, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh Steelers, and I'm kind of with Smoke. The West is really tough. I'm gonna go Broncos and Chargers as well.
They had 3 last year, right?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
this is kind of going against my thing where the teams change around, but I don't I don't trust the Jets just yet. Dolphins, no. Patriots, no. I was thinking the Bengals like you, Smoke, but their defense is so bad.
It's kind of that pick was kind of I want them to get in the playoffs pick.
I was thinking Texans. You know what? You know what? No, I'm gonna stick with it. I'll stick with it.
Um, I agree with the Broncos. Um, I'm gonna go Colts. No. I'm going Texans. And
Chargers,
hmm,
Steelers,
I
Patriots.
don't like. Geez, I don't like the AFC. My goodness,
I know, right?
I don't like the AFC. Uh,
It's top
you
heavy.
know what? I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
Mm.
Good chances, anybody.
You didn't do NFC, did you? Yeah.
I
No,
didn't
I
do
didn't.
NFC. No.
No. All right, GM, go with the NFC.
Uh, I'm gonna go. This is really tough. Um, I'm gonna go Falcons, Vikings,
Mm.
and Lions.
Mm.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of teams. There's going to be one game that keeps them out.
All right. And I'm gonna go 49ers. Lions, and I'm gonna go with the boys. Going to
Cowboys.
Dallas. All right. Uh, Smoke. Who is your AFC champion?
AFC champion, Baltimore Ravens.
GM.
Yep.
AFC champ.
Shit. Between the Ravens and the Chiefs. Um, I'm gonna go Chiefs, man. Which is weird because I want the Ravens, but I just.
You know what? Just to
It's
be
crazy.
different, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think either one of those three. It's one of those three. It really is. I don't see anybody
If
else.
it's anybody outside of them three, what
I'll
the
be
heck
shocked.
is going on?
NFC champs.
NFC champs. Gonna mess them up with this one. I'm going with the Commanders.
Wow. Bears fans are going to be disgusted.
They're gonna really be disgusted with me.
We picked the wrong guy. Glenn.
Packers. It's a repeat of Super Bowl 2. No, Super Bowl 1. Philadelphia.
I'm going to be different, man. I'm going with the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So that is way different.
Very different.
Super Bowl champs.
So it's clear who you got winning the Super Bowl. I guess it's clear who most, except for GM. I got the Ravens winning the Super Bowl. Lamar gets it done. Finally gets one.
I hope you're right.
GM.
I got the Chiefs.
Oh,
Chefs.
thought you was gonna pick the Packers.
And as much as I want to see the Arizona Cardinals win the Super Bowl, I'm going with the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills and the Cardinals, man. It's two unlikely Super. Well, not two. Man.
All right. 2025. Week 1 is here. As we do every year, we take 3 picks against the spread. Both college, and we can pick either college or NFL. Who won it last year?
Either you or Smoke, wasn't me. I think it was you, wasn't it?
I think I did. I think I won.
Yeah.
What's the thing we typically use?
Vegas Insider.
Vegas
Insider,
yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to week 1 and week 2. No, I can't get week 2 in college up. Let's see. Hold on.
Yeah, just go to where it says 2
That's
and then
okay.
hit it. There's several teams that aren't up just yet, but if you just go to odds and then
Yeah, I did. It wouldn't let
get
me.
2.
Oh, there it is. Okay, now it opened. Okay.
And we're using Caesar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see. Okay. That's the Chalice Cup.
It won't let me. It says page unresponsive. That's not good.
Let's see if it does that to me. I looked earlier.
Okay, there it is. Okay.
Maybe the game was ending and they had to redo it. I don't know. North Carolina game.
Still not. I think my internet is acting up.
Oh, that could always be it too. I went to week 2. Let me see.
Wait, are they counting this game as a week 2 game?
What's that?
I guess technically it
Carolina.
Is it? Technically, no, it's still week 1.
It should be week 1. But
yeah,
then this they got it as week 2.
Oh, you in college? Well, you
On
gonna do a
college,
college
yeah.
game?
I guess it is technically it is a second week, I suppose, because it's Sunday. I mean, it's Monday.
It's Monday.
Yeah, but we
All
can't
right.
pick it anyways. It already happened.
Right. That's already yeah. I take I take TCU
So.
all day. All right. So let's go with Glenn. You want to go first?
Yeah, that's cool.
All right.
I'm going to take. I'm gonna take USF plus 17.5 at Florida Gators.
Okay.
I'm also going to take Kansas plus 6 against one of the oldest rivalries in college football at Mizzou. Hatfields versus the McCoys. And I'm going to take a pro game. I'm going to take the Nye Giants plus 6 at Washington.
All right. Smoke, who you got?
I'm gonna take Dallas plus 8 versus Philly. Mm, Gonna take. hmm, No, that's emotional. That's an emotional pick. I'm gonna do that. Gonna take Washington minus the 6 versus the Giants.
I think the Giants going to win that outright. They don't need the 6 points. They don't need your 6 points.
And um, I'm going to take. I'm gonna take the Bears plus 1.5.
Yeah, that's not an emotional pick
Bears.
at all.
Now that wasn't
Bears.
honestly the one that was gonna be emotional. I was thinking about taking the Jets.
Mm.
Bears. All right. Uh all right. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna take Miami of Ohio plus 14 and a half at Rutgers.
Thought about that one.
Um Delaware had a tough time with Delaware State and Deshaun Watson making his coaching debut at Delaware State. So I'm going to take Colorado minus the 23 and a half.
Deshaun Watson's coaching now.
Yeah, he's the
Yes,
head coach at Delaware
not
State.
Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson.
Oh, okay. I was
Did I
like,
say Watson?
yeah, you
Yes.
did. I
I'm
was like,
sorry. I did not mean that. I meant Jackson. Sorry. Former Eagles receiver. So it's plus 14 and a half and minus 23 and a half. And let's take a Niffle game.
the Chiefs in Brazil.
I am going to take. I'm gonna take the Raiders plus 2.5 at New England.
They're the underdog on the road
Yep.
against New England.
Yep.
That's weird.
All right. All right. Sounds like a plan. Good luck this week, fellas. and on the entire season. That's going to do it for this week's edition of the Easy Smoke and the GM podcast. I want to thank everyone for listening. We greatly appreciate it. You can find our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you find your favorite podcast. You can also catch the video version of this podcast on YouTube. Just search for HP53 Productions, and there on our page you will find our podcast and the Super Duper podcast hosted by Rob Griggs. So definitely check that out. Yo, Glenn.
Yep.
Please take us out.
Hey, it's like we always say here, easy smoking the gym. We ain't saying we're right. We just know we're not Alabama Crimson wrong. Oh, I love it. They lost.
Well, show that orange, man. I'm surprised you don't got orange walls back there.
Oh, it's coming.
Crazy.
It's coming.
Crazy. Fellas, take it easy. We catch everybody next week.